Today I'd like to speak to you about the 4 different types of tongues. Most believers know about praying in tongues and believe in the one where you pray for your own needs and also where you can intercede for people. But what I'd like to talk to you about is the 4 different types of tongues that you get. The one that we find in Acts chapter 2 is the one where the believers came together, the Holy Spirit baptized them and they prayed in tongues, but the people in the region all heard what they were saying in their own language. This was a supernatural move of the Holy Spirit. And what it was about really is they were praying in tongues and each person from different regions and countries could hear in their own language what they were saying. So that is tongues as a sign to unbelievers. The second type of tongue is the tongues you pray in for your own personal life, where you intercede for yourself and you pray in tongues because you don't know what to pray for, but the Holy Spirit knows what you need to pray for. The third tongues that you get is tongues for interpretation. Often you'll see this in church and you'll see somebody coming up and praying in tongues, and then there needs to be interpretation, because if you're using tongues in church, it doesn't help if you're praying in tongues and nobody understands what you're saying. And that basically is receiving a message from God through the Holy Spirit and knowing exactly what God is saying over a certain situation. The last one is prophetic tongues. And prophetic tongues is really, really important. This is tongues for intercession. Your prayer language can also change when you do this. It can go from a friendly prayer language, which is light and fluffy, to a really fervent, hard-knocking prayer language. And that's when you intercede for people in situations. You may not know what you're interceding for, but the thing is, the Holy Spirit tells you. So you could be praying and you could have a burden to pray. You could feel like unease in your gut. And then the Holy Spirit leads you in that prayer. And then you can ask the Holy Spirit, what am I praying for? This is prophetic because it comes with a word of knowledge or word of wisdom and interpretation of what you need to pray for. And these are the 4 different types of tongues you can pray in.